למען תירא את אדוני אלוהיך, לשמור את כל חוקותיו ומצוותיו, אשר אנוכי מצווך, אתה ובנך ובן בנך, כל ימי חייך, ולמען יראו נימך, והשמידך מעל פני האדמה.
My name is Zoe. I come from miles down south, but I'm in Glasgow at the moment studying English language. I'm 20 and I'm Jewish. Judaism follows the Torah, which is the 5 books of Moses, and concentrates on the Old Testament, whereas Christianity is Old and New put together. We follow the 10 Commandments and then the 613 which are in the Torah. I'm Reform Jewish, which means it's one brand of Judaism, and within that we take the commandments within the Torah rather than as obligations or rules, as kind of guidelines. I think there's a really important thing about valuing life, and that because it's God's creation, it's kind of sacred and important, and everyone is equal, and that's really important. So viewing other people as completely the same as yourself, and you should treat them completely equally. Shabbat, which is the Sabbath, is perhaps the most important festival as well as being the most regular. It's on Saturdays rather than Sundays. It's about having time off, and so you have your week when you're crazy and mad and doing things, and then actually have a time when it's not. And family is really important in Judaism. It means it's a really like the basic source of where you get all your pleasure and all your knowledge and all your discussion. And so Shabbat is definitely a time when you come together and you have a lovely meal and you talk, and you don't put the telly on because you're actually interested in what's been going on in the week and have time to reflect on that. Kashrut, which is the food we eat, is one of the kind of basic things that underpin everyday life. So that kind of affects life in that you have to think about what you're eating, which means you're kind of thinking about your religion in everyday life. So if I go to a restaurant, then I'd have to be aware of what I'm eating. There's kind of questions of whether Judaism is a faith or a religion or a culture, and it is a kind of a mush of all of them, because there is Jewish food and Jewish jokes and Jewish all kind of things, and that's kind of the colour that you have as a child growing up. At home, my synagogue is 2.5 miles away. We tend to drive, but if not, I can easily walk. Whereas here, I'm a long way from the synagogue, and I live in an area where it's not Jewish. And going to the synagogue is an effort because I don't have a car, so I get the bus. But then again, the things you work at more, you actually have more pride in, and you take more interest in. So although I kind of have to work at my faith and kind of actively think, oh, I've got to kind of schedule in time for doing this and going there, rather than things coming to me, it can be a bit lonely and it can be a bit frustrating, but in the end it's positive.